Yo, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Bad Truth is in the building. What's going down? Listen and learn Monday, man. What's the word? We chilling? How y'all feeling? All right, man. I feel good. Let me get my chats up here so I can see who tapping in. What's going down, everybody? Boy, it was nice outside today. It's kind of cool. It's crazy though. You see how I just got down on Saturday? I was like, man, I came outside and see the snow. I was discouraged. I mean, talking about snow everywhere. Like for real, for real. Now today it's all melted. It's like now it's starting to look like spring and stuff like that, man. And uh Wiz, I meant to get back with you. I was cutting some hair, then I had to do the podcast. My daughter is crazy. She about to get a car Friday, and she called me today and was like, "Dad, can you can you teach me how to drive? I get my car Friday." I'm like, "What? On Monday you need to learn. You need to learn everything you need to learn by today, because Friday is going down." Like what? But you know the routine. Turn up for Christ or burn up for life. Stop playing all the time. Ain't nobody playing. Jesus show up. You need to be ready. What's going down, everybody? Man, I like it when it's nice outside. That means, people gonna start popping up. People need to get their hair cut. Shout out to my cousin Lil Corey, man. He's going through a hard little time right now, man. But I pulled up on him out in Moline, and I went and cut him up and stuff like that, man. And just it was cool to just go out there and check out family, see how he doing and stuff. Nice little apartment out there, man. Little cool little spot, man. We went out there. We got a chance to chop it up. And so, his old man's funeral is gonna be this week. And so rest in peace to Albert, you know what I mean? That's my dad's family and stuff. And so, I remembered Albert, you know. But 1 minute we celebrating a birthday, the next minute, man, somebody is dying. Lisa Johnson, what is going down? What's happening, sweetheart? Yep, I see her on there. We got like about 4 people on here today. And so if anybody is wondering like what the title was about, we're gonna switch the script. You dig? I was hoping, man, that somebody wanted to come on here and be like a guest, because it's gonna be kind of hard to follow up to like Lafayette May Barnum. No, Lafayette K. I'm just playing. I say Lafayette May like she from the South, like she from the country. But yeah, the book has been going hard. Everybody is digging the book, cuz. And so thank you for coming out. And she showed up. So like I was telling y'all, man, Lavonda be doing her thing with the makeup, man. Check out her post if you get a chance to and you need to do the makeover. Go through there and see her, man, because she's super duper fly. Lakeisha with the braids. Go check her out. You dig what I'm saying? Every time I see her post something about the braids, it's like super dope. Lachelle Guy had been posting something like Sunday about the candles. She's doing something. I'm not quite sure. I haven't talked to her in a while, but I'll be talking to Michelle. And Michelle, you supposed to been coming through, man, with the 5'2" and heels. You dig? We were supposed to been doing some stuff. Hey, yo, what's the word? Me and Buck kicked it today. Buck slid down on me, man. We chopped it up. So we got a few things in the making that we might try to do. Got a chance to pick his brain and sit down and kick it with him and stuff like that, man. And shout out to Bob and Black and them over there at Divine Creations, man. Bob, man, that's family. Even though he's younger, you dig what I'm saying? A lot of knowledge, man. So just want to say shout out, little cuz. You know what I mean? Appreciate the words that you spoke on me. I appreciate that. It's all love on both ends, man. You said I've been missing you. How are you? Send a little. Hey, everything is cool. We hoping that you pull up sometime soon. Yeah, and anytime you want to pull back up and jump on the show, you already know. Guess what I was looking? There was a somebody's got a sermon or something, a church sermon that was saying it's okay not to be okay, and I thought about you. Then I heard it's like a song or something. It's okay not to be okay. I'm not for sure. You know what I mean? If you piggyback on that or whatever, but listen, you know what I mean? That mental depression. We definitely should tackle that. And then I might have another guest. I got a friend, her mom is interested in doing something about being married and having domestic violence. You dig what I'm saying? Being in a marriage and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna give all the details, but I want to try to tie that in. I think next week what I'm gonna do something about soulmates, because a lot of people responded to last night. Salute to my future wife. Some of the characteristics a husband should have, man. I got a lot of inboxes that said they needed to hear that. And so y'all got to give credit to God. Anytime it's something that touches your heart and you really feel like, okay, man, bare truth, you gave it to us like last night. It's him. You dig what I'm saying? We ain't taking no credit. But today, I said something that was kind of crazy yesterday when I was getting ready to get off the air. Like, you know what I mean? You need to get somewhere and sit down, you know what I mean? Running around sleeping with people for you mess around and had them bumps on your genital areas with pus and stuff coming out everywhere. And I was laughing, but somebody else was like, "You silly." And then I thought about it, one of the downfalls about living in like a small town like the Quad Cities, everybody's sleeping with everybody. You know what I mean? And that's another reason why go somewhere and sit down. You dig what I'm saying? And that was the topic that I had for today. Get somewhere and sit it down, man. You know, and if you're young and if you really think that you just that, I don't, you know what I mean? You know how it is. Sometimes guys, man, they be feeling themselves. You know, they got a few little women's on the team, but here's the thing, ladies. One of the things that I just keep trying to comb over and get it into your head. I don't care how old you are. I'm talking to my daughter if she listening. She 19. You and your little friends, the whether y'all in your 20s or whether y'all in your 30s. You know, by the time you get to your mid 30s, you probably done shook the cobwebs off of that stupidness. You know what I mean? That's going on, and I'm gonna call it what it is. You did. Uh, I was listening to this guy talking about friends with benefits. You know what I mean? And I gotta tell you, a lot of times when people use that word to tell you the truth, they really want more than that, but they just trying to be content with what you'll give them. And one of the reasons that he said it that was so cool that you don't never really think about is because when you friends with benefits, you still do the texting, you still do the talking. You know, y'all might still go grab some food or something like that and hook up on a late night. You might watch Netflix and then y'all just wind up crushing. You dig what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you try not to say, okay, we just friends with benefits because you don't want to make that commitment. You dig what I'm saying? And so I don't know if it's on from your perspective because one thing I've learned though today, ladies is just as thuggish as dudes. You dig what I'm saying? They'll get with a dude and sleep with him and be like, man, I'm cool. That's all I wanted. You dig what I'm saying? I just wanted some face for the night. I wanted some hit. You know what I mean? And they'll keep it thorough with you like real quick. Like, dude, that was it. So now it's like bye. And to tell you the truth, thumbs down to that, you know. And I ain't trying to, you know what I mean, dish you because, dudes think that it was cool when they was doing it. And it's like, man, I just went through and crashed shorty. That's it. And then leave y'all like that. So now times done got so crazy that now women is starting to do dudes like that. You dig what I'm saying? So a woman can feel comfortable just with, let's crush. You dig what I'm saying? You come through, smash, and get on about your business. You dig what I'm saying? Especially if you're a boss, if you like leveled up, you dig what I'm saying? If you leveled up and you got your own, you don't really need nobody. You dig what I'm saying? So, like, dude, come through, hit this, do what you got to do so I can get mine off and just get on out the way. Going back home to your girls. Lisa said, that's nasty. But you know something? And this is the thing, Lisa, I think that for so long, they got tired of being looked at as like, you know what I mean? Like when dudes doing it. But you notice how when women do it, it's nasty. But when dudes do it, they considered as players, they considered as pimps. They looked upon to be cool, to keep it real with you. But then when girls do it, it's like nasty. But I'm with you though, Lisa. It's a thumbs down for that one. And ladies, let me tell you why. Because even though somebody else is off their square, you know what? It ain't nothing like a classy woman. I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, cuz it said, hold on, both people. I get that one, cuz said it's not cute for men or women. It's tacky. And you know something, you're right. But I'm gonna tell you something. I think sometimes, man, you can admit, man, like a lot of dudes ain't really got it together. They so like childish and like immature. And I used to be one of them. And so, but at the end of the day, Lisa said it's nasty either way. Like nasty. That word, I ain't heard that one in a long time. When you say nasty, it damn near sound like somebody like grandma. Mm-mm. You sure is nasty with your little nasty self. Get your nasty self somewhere and sit down. You dig what I'm saying? But listen, the reason why I think it's like nasty or tacky for a woman, because men, even though you might see like okay, say a bust down or a runner, let's just keep it real. See you in the club, you know what your record consists of. You know you'll bust down if you get drunk and you go somewhere and you let a group of men get down on you. You'll bust down. You're a runner if you know what I mean, you done slept with like a gang of their friends in a circle. That's what they call it. That's what it is. I didn't make it up. I don't get to say so. But you ain't no different than a dude that's going around doing it too. So I'm with Lisa and I'm with Cuz. You know what? Everybody is tacky for that. And I fell victim for that one. So I take it up. But that, you know what I mean, that's in my past. But I gotta tell you this from a man's perspective, even though I was mannish out here being a mess out here in the streets in the club, I tell you one thing though, it ain't nothing like pulling up on a classy woman. You know what I mean? When you find a chick and you know when you look at her and you know when you try to holler at her like she got morals and she got standards about herself, I'm gonna tell you something. That's a whole different type of beauty. You dig what I'm saying? It's somewhere else. You know what I mean? Because it's remember what I was telling y'all yesterday. Like one of the traits of a husband is you got to leave space for dude to pursue you. Because if you always trying to take charge and you want to, okay, I'm taking you out, I'm buying you this, I'm gonna do you this and that. I love it. I think that's sexy when a woman do that. But yet you better make sure you leave some space for dude to pursue you because if you don't, then he'll lose interest because he ain't got nothing to do. And so, ladies, when you easy and you give your body up easy, that's the reason why they lose interest in you. I mean, you could probably be beautiful, can probably know how to cook, you know what I mean? And you probably one of the coolest persons in the world. But just based on the fact that, you know what I mean, you just so loose with your legs, you dig? And now all of a sudden a person can lose like respect for you, you know what I mean, in that level. Now it could take a mature person to say, okay, every one night stand ain't gotta be like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean that a one night stand gotta be like that. But then again, if you keep it biblical, it was kind of foul anyway. So you ain't really got the covering of God blessing the situation. But let's just keep it 100, man. There ain't a lot of people out here just dating and reading the Bible. Like, God, do you approve of this guy or you approve of this girl? People ain't doing it like that. So I'm always trying to give you the biblical version because I don't want to get to heaven, man, and be responsible for talking to like hundreds of people and I ain't say nothing about Christ. Matter of fact, turn up for Christ and burn up for life. I promote Jesus Christ on the bare truth. I'm rapping him like you dig what I'm saying? Like straight up, like he my boss. He is my boss. But meanwhile, I'm rapping. But so when I say get somewhere and sit down, to tell you the truth, to keep it real, the Quad Cities ain't big enough for this. You know what I mean? Y'all really got to be thinking about y'all life and about what y'all doing. And I'm gonna tell you something that was so crazy because when I was in prison, I used to be a peer health facilitator, right? And so everybody that came into Oakdale from I'm gonna say 2011 to 2014, you had to holler at me because I was the one that taught you about like STDs, about syphilis, gonorrhea. I talked to you about HIV because everybody that go to prison, when you come to prison, they have to draw your blood and you get tested for every disease possible because there's a lot of sex going on in prison. You know what I mean? And not just men's having sex with men or the transgenders. Sometimes you catch like staff that's going. You dig what I'm saying? You might be at a camp where they got some teachers and they got some places where there's no cameras and they love the inmates. And so it's going down. And so the main story is this. They got to know what you got. So when you come into prison, the first 2 weeks that you in there, when you get the reception, you got to go undergo like blood tests, a bunch of physicals, so they can see exactly do you need glasses, do you got anything going on with your teeth? They got to be able to figure you out because now you're a property of the state. They got to take care of you. And so when these guys be on reception, they got to on reception unit, they got to come holler at me. And so then I got to come wake them up like early in the morning, and then I got to give everybody this spill, same old spill. I talked to them about hepatitis A, B, C. I talked to them about genital warts, about herpes, simplex 1, simplex 2, syphilis, HIV. Um, ooh, it'll come to me in a minute. The staph infection. That's really bad in prison. I had to talk to them about that. And then they got to sign a piece of paper and stuff like that. And then it lets the prison know that, okay, somebody warned you about what's going on in here. So now you know about your surroundings. And so, as we used to be peer health facilitators, it was kind of cool to stay up on the stats. And so I was just like checking out the stats and stuff like that. as I was doing this little study about get somewhere and sit down, I had to go back through my little diseases just to make sure I was telling you what's right. You dig what I'm saying about stuff that's out here. And I'll never forget this one time she was talking to us about syphilis. And she was saying how syphilis was so bad in Waterloo and how syphilis was so bad in Rock Island that there was an article too that syphilis was so bad in this particular house where these girls were staying and had been so many dudes had slept with them and had went to the doctor and found out that they was tested, that the public health department had to come over there and literally get people out the crib and take them to the hospital just to get tested, because it's like, listen, we didn't had like at least 3 to 4 guys that then got tested for syphilis. And I guess, when I get the syphilis, I tell you about the 2 to 6 month stages and the different stages, and then to the point where now you're taking a chance at it getting into your bloodstream. It can cause blindness and stuff like that. But make a long story short, it's like y'all got to get down here so we can see who got this, so we can put a stop to this. Because when you out here and you in these little bitty small towns, and little ladies, like now that y'all so thugged out and everybody listen to Glorilla and everybody want to listen to Meg the Stallion and you talking crazy and he gave you some head and you dig what I'm saying, and you just talk, you know how y'all talk foolish. And then a lot of y'all sitting out here too, then y'all be all in the strip joints and then y'all letting them rub they stuff all up on your hands and stuff like that. Listen, keep playing if you want to. Just that's all I'm gonna tell you. Keep playing. Because one thing you gotta understand about sin and about God, the more disrespectful y'all get, the more he'll bag up off a place and he'll put his hands in the air. You seen what just happened with COVID. So everybody wondering around like why we was shut down for like 2 years and how COVID gets so bad, how it's killing people and how I do that. Sometimes, man, when y'all showing out so bad, gotta bag up, man, and be like, okay, that's how y'all want to live. Don't nobody want to listen to me. Don't nobody want to pay no reverence to me. Okay, do y'all thing. And so the younger generation, I think y'all headed for something like really, really terrible, something really horrific that's gonna mess y'all up, and it's gonna make you really get somewhere and sit down. So if you don't get somewhere and sit down after I get done talking to you today, I guarantee you, sooner or later, you're gonna wish that you went somewhere and sat down and stop playing all the time. Everybody always popping pills and drunk and thinking like life is just a game and just waking up. You don't even know who you next to. You got different people in your bed and you don't even know their name. You don't even know where they came from. You don't even know what's going on. Wake up, you ain't got no clothes on. You don't even know who you slept with, who been on who been on top of you. Everybody just in there drunk and high. But listen, chlamydia just in alone in the ending of 2022, um only 200 people went and actually got tested and got treated. You dig what I'm saying? And so when you do these like little stat checks with the CHC or with the department that's tracking like STIs and STDs, it's more people than this. But guess what's happening? It's only like a handful of people that's going and go get tested and going to get checked. Because what you say, cuz it ain't just young ones, it's the old ones too who think they still young. Amen to that. Let's put that one up there. Because um Restream be calculating the people that be watching the podcast. And so I'm really rocking like from like the 35s to like the 50s. And then a few people that's a little bit older than that. And I got a few like younger people. But from the mid 30s to the 40s to the 50s, we rocking. So Cuz said it ain't just the young ones, it's some of these old ones that still think that they're young. You know what I mean? And here it is though, ladies. This is what it all boils down to. Um what they call it, and you probably still call it. You dig what I'm saying? And we ain't trying to be too graphic and be, you know what I mean, and bust out the language, but let's just call it what it is. It's the bare truth. Dudes is running around here with a dirty dick, you know, and off these drugs. They coming through. You feel a type of way. You come through and you feel like dude is really giving it to you. Pow wow, the sex is just gravy and great, and you don't understand. You done built his ego up. He probably sleeping with one of your friends. He probably sleeping with somebody in the town. He probably got somebody in Moline. You dig what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes. You know, especially if he out here getting it from the mud, he in the streets. 9 times out of 10, if he's a D boy and he's selling drugs, he's got multiple women that he's having sex with. And a lot of times when you drinking liquor and you off drugs, the sex don't really feel good. So the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna put it on, but then you're gonna peel that thing off. I'm telling you how they do out here. And so you taking a chance at messing around and having somebody doing you like that. And then maybe Some of y'all who ain't getting tested, scared to go to the doctors. That's one thing about our people. They ain't going to no doctors. They steadily drinking. And then, like, say, 200 people checked out for chlamydia. Roughly about 100 people for gonorrhea. But dig this. The gonorrhea got so bad that there was so many people with gonorrhea that was having sex with people that already had gonorrhea that they created a mutated gonorrhea that the antibiotics wasn't even working for it right here in the Quad Cities, where it had just turned into something different and that you couldn't even cure it with the regular antibiotics. So just think if this person got the double gonorrhea. He got the double, he hit with the double whammy. You got a double, how you get a double STD? You did that don't even sound right. Like, man, you got the double STD. You got a, you know what I mean? You double dirty. You know what I mean? Like, what? That's crazy. But it's just it's real. And now with the music, the way that it's going, and everybody listen to the music, and then a lot of times you see them posting. A lot of the girls is in the strip clubs too. You dig what I'm saying? And then we like living in the age now. I'm not about to try to sit up here. I ain't got no offense with the LGBTQ community. He said double dirty dick. Nephew crazy. It's real though, ain't it? Nephew said double dirty. You got a double dirty dick. That's crazy, man. But listen, and so now all kind of people are sleeping with all kind of people. So you got men sleeping with men, women sleeping with women. You dig what I'm saying? Threesomes, orgies, and it's really. But listen to me. Um, it ain't nothing new that ain't been happening. I'm just saying right now with y'all younger generation, it's just more prevalent. Now it's spiking. You know what I mean? And so y'all really out here in a bad time. You know what I mean? And so, ladies, one thing you got to be conscious of, I would say, I would rather that you be on the classy side, but make sure a dude is strapping up. Because let me tell you, man, number one, I got burnt when I was like 13. You know what I mean? Straight up. I've been managed for a long time, but I got burnt when I was like 13. I'm going to tell you something, man. That was terrible, you know? And now what's going on with like gonorrhea and chlamydia, like, um, I knew how I was burnt. And I remember, man, Scent, man, boy, she told me exactly what I had. My cousin sent through Mike. Mike got kids by Cynthia. And so my cousin Mike, I was going to the bathroom, man, and I almost thought I was gonna fall out. It was burning so bad, it was hurting so bad that I literally thought I was gonna pass out. And then all of a sudden, you know me, you look to your drawers are sticking to you, and it's this green stuff coming out. And so I ain't gonna even tell you what happened and who it was. You know what I mean? She was a 13-year-old, but you know what I mean? She was having sex with an 18-year-old. You know, she was extra managed. You dig what I'm saying? So he burnt her up, she burnt me up. And boy, my mama cussed my mama cussed me out so bad. Going on our trip there to the doctor, man, she cussed me out so bad. And that was when you had to get the shot in the butt. You dig what I'm saying? And so she was just like, you out here, you being grown, you think you having sex, and you black son of a, you know what I mean? I'm talking about, man, she called me so many cuss words, and I thought the slap was coming, but the slap the slap didn't come. But boy, I sure felt bad. You dig what I'm saying? And so just imagine if it was going down at that time, just for like it was minute. Just imagine what these young shorties out here doing now, man. I was cutting this chick's hair, and she said she had a tape of her son and them was 13 years old, and they was at the crib drinking Hennessy, smoking blunts, and throwing up folks and everything. And they ain't no older than like 12 and 13. So just imagine, you dig what I'm saying? If they with some little chicks, you already know what they doing. You know, they out here, they having sex. So get somewhere and sit it down. Let's talk about it. I already told you about the gonorrhea. You know what I mean? You pretty much know what gonorrhea is, and you know what it is. It's a bacteria that can mess up, you know, your tube. So when you pissing, or it can cause like a discharge to the vagina. The bad thing about gonorrhea, ladies, listen, if you sometimes you don't have symptoms, you know, like with gonorrhea or with chlamydia, sometimes it can be, you know, especially if like you drink a lot. If you drink like a lot of beer or like a lot of liquor and you piss all the time, it's normally cleaning your piss out. You know, usually like if you drink like a lot of pop, you know, or Kool-Aid, you notice how you have like a dark yellow piss because you ain't been drinking no water. But when you drink beer, you always like piss clear. So if you drinking liquor, a lot of times you can go through the motions and be using the bathroom and not doing it. And like say if ladies might have on like some cotton panties or something like that, She might just have, a discharge just because her jeans is too tight, or because her panties is like cotton. Something could be like that. And she can mistake it as one of them, get like a little cream and overlook it. But here's the thing. If you walking around here and you got gonorrhea and you don't know and you ain't going to go get yourself checked out, you can get that to your child when you having birth, and it can cause your kid to be blind. You dig what I'm saying? And I pray that that hasn't happened to anybody, but I mean, it can happen to you to where your shorty could be blind. And then not only that, you could be messing around and walking around with gonorrhea or chlamydia for so long that it'll start messing up your organs. And then next thing you know, you'll start being infertile. You know what I mean? And so you'll be having fertility issues where you can't get pregnant. And now you're going through the motions and you don't know what's going on with you. So one of the things that y'all got to be doing, don't be scared to go to the doctor, fam. Y'all got to go to the doctor, man, and start going and get y'all checkups, man. Y'all out here drinking and popping pills and, you know what I mean, partying, and ain't nobody going to the doctor. Number one, I already know a lot of people ain't even got no medical insurance. You know what I mean? And so I was blessed because I did the time in the joint. So when we came home, they had to give us like a medical card, and I got to get that break. I got to go through there and use everything you giving me, fam. Eye doctor, dentist, you know what I mean, doctor, clinic. I don't care. I go get everything. But with the younger generation, man, go get checked out about the gonorrhea. Don't get stuck with that, because it's something simple that you can go get some antibiotics or go get you a little shot and be over it. You know what I mean? And but you still want to stay on top of it, because what if it turns into something worse than that? You getting ready to have kids by the time you grow up or something. Even like with yeah, she said get those get them checkups. Let's put that out there. But like say for instance HPV, them human papilloma virus, genital warts. You dig what I'm saying? Sometimes them things can lay dormant to the point where you don't even see them, right? And so here's the thing. All of us that's got kids, what's up, my man? I see you from, that's some of my African people, man. God bless y'all. I ain't seen y'all in a minute. What's good with it? But listen to this. If you got a child, they giving out a vaccine from, like, say from the ages where they'll say start them from when they like 9 or 10 years old, because it's three different shots, and it's like the HPV vaccine. And what this does is it protects them from catching the human papilloma virus or genital warts, like say when they get older. Who and God forbid that anything would happen, that they would get raped or get molested by somebody. But what if they having sex and you at work? You dig what I'm saying? You at work and you leave your kids at the crib. Cause you know how it goes. Like right now, my grandson, you dig what I'm saying? He 13. You know, he take care of himself. But I talk to people who's got like 14-year-old kids, and they wind up watching the household. It was like that when we was younger. My sister was the oldest, so she watched the crib. You dig what I'm saying? And so nowadays, y'all too damn fast and y'all too damn grown. You know what I mean? And the drugs is too crazy. So just imagine if your shorties is in the crib and they having sex. And what if it is some old clown that's over age and he coming through and he messing with your 14 or your 15-year-old daughter, and he been out in the streets and he come and give your daughter something. Let's say she don't get pregnant. Maybe she don't get pregnant or something like that. But what if he give her like genital warts and you don't even know it? Guess what? It can mess up her cervix, give her cervical cancer. You know what I mean? You didn't even think about that. And see, a lot of times kids is being grown and being fast, and then we all off in the la la land. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, because I used to be like that, fam. When I used to be selling dope, I helped out with homework. I make sure they eat. But at 10 o'clock, I was out in the streets. I pull back up 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I fall in the crib on Saturday morning and Nubia is watching the kids. Oli be going to work and Nubia got the kids. You dig what I'm saying? So I know how sometimes kids can be left by themselves, raising themselves, and you just don't know what's going on. Listen to the music that they listening to, and listen to what's going on their phones. They on their phones all the time, so they got access to porn, and they listening to all this dumbass music. So what they doing? They filling their minds and their eyes up with stuff that they ain't got no business seeing at this age. And as soon as they get some free time, they about to practice being grown. And so next thing you know, you got grown people in your kids in your house being grown, doing stuff. Next thing you know, somebody got a disease that you don't know nothing about. Now everybody crying and praying on the Facebook with prayer hands, talking about pray for my people. You know what I mean? I ain't laughing. It ain't funny, but that's how it go though. And you know, we gonna pray. People gonna lift up prayers, but it's like sometimes, man, we gotta be smart out the gate. Stop being smart at the last minute, man, and be smart up front, man. Turn up for Christ and burn up for life. Put him in your life early. Put Jesus in your kids' life at 3. You dig what I'm saying? Teach them how to pray at 2. They know cuss words at 2, but they don't know Jesus Christ. Start teaching your kids Christ. You know, as soon as they learn how to talk, who is Christ? The Lord, you know, anything. Try something like that, man, instead of all this stupid rap. You see them little boys that was on that thing freaking and doing the froggy style at 5, he ain't even got no teeth. Should nobody even be teaching him Christ. But here's the thing about herpes. A lot of y'all that be in the strip clubs, and you sitting up there and you letting them strippers jump up on you, rub their booty all on you, and you touching them and slapping on their butt. If Shorty got herpes, simplex 2, and it's active, you might not know it's active, but if any of them bumps or something, or that pus or that fluid come out of them bumps and hit your hands, you're gonna have it on your hands. And if you wipe your mouth, you're gonna get it on your mouth. It's gonna be on your lips. As soon as you catch it and you don't know you got it, you're gonna kiss somebody else, you're gonna get them herpes in their mouth. You dig what I'm saying? You go down on somebody, you're gonna give them herpes down there. And I'm telling you, boy, the herpes, that simplex that's in the Quad Cities, the number is ridiculous. It was ridiculous in 2021, the last time, but I'm talking about it. They said, man, damn near like 3 out of 5 people that's walking around the Quad Cities got herpes simplex 1 or either herpes simplex 2. 3 out of 5 people? Like what? Got herpes simplex 1 or herpes simplex 2. Herpes simplex 1 is the bumps on the mouth, them little bitty crusty, like little bumps that be on people's mouth. Be talking about, oh, it's a cold, so I got a cold. Your ass got herpes. You better stop playing all the time. Straight up. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. You might not even know it. Somebody can, what if you like wearing condoms, but you let fam go down on you and give you some head, or you go down on him and give him some head? If he got a sore on the inside of his lip or on his tongue or something like that, and he turning you on, and you in the moment, he can give you herpes. She can give you herpes. You might not even be able to see them. Sometimes it lay benign, but it can be the fluids that's on the inside and you don't even see it. And what's so crazy is that it can lay benign for like 2 years. So remember what I was telling you? It's 2023. 2025, you don't want to be a player no more. Now all of a sudden you got you a wife. You're getting ready to get married. After y'all get on your honeymoon and come back, you start living life. All of a sudden you got blisters and bumps showing up on your mouth and all on your genital warts. You got herpes. She think you done cheated on her and all types of stuff. And it's just now showing up. But it's been from back in 2023, somebody you done slept with. You did? You know, it's too serious. And here it is right here, fam. Look at this small town. Everybody sleeping with everybody. Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody, man, listen, it's like you can't go nowhere, ain't nobody slept with nobody. You dig what I'm saying? It was so many like little friendships that should have prospered for me, but just so happened that, man, they done been with a family member. Oh man, this person is cool, and all of a sudden, cause me, you know, I don't really like to rock like that. You know what I mean? I don't really want to do the family thing. You know what I mean? If you mess with my family, I don't really, cause I'm playing for keeps. So I don't want to, put you under my arms or hold hands or show up to a family venue and you done already slept with. You know what I mean? A cousin or something like that. I don't know. It's too small. I don't know. Maybe some other people can deal with it, but I can't. But just imagine the people that's just still running around, just sleeping with each other, unprotected, and just doing whatever. Then you in a strip club. You know what I mean? You turned up in there, making it rain. Got people doing lap dances and all kind of stuff, sitting all on you, rubbing they funky fluids all on your hands and on your lap. You got herpes on your jeans. Man, come on, man. It's too rough out here. Stop playing all the time. But you got to be ready for it. And so remember, herpes simplex 1 around the lips. It can be on their gums, the top of their gums. It can be on top of their tongue. Herpes simplex 2 is usually on the genital areas. If you having sex with a chick and she's always bleeding or something like in between her period where she's having fluid and blood, 9 times out of 10, she might even have a case of unchecked gonorrhea or either she got herpes. If it's painful sex, maybe she got genital warts on the inside of her body And it's always, she don't like you to touch her or rub her or nothing like that. And you know what I mean? And when you got gonorrhea and chlamydia, you got to get it together because it make you stink. You dig what I'm saying? Straight up, man. I want to tell you a story so bad, man, but I don't want to be graphic, man. But listen, I had this chick pick me up one night. It was her girlfriend, and her girlfriend had this dude. And I'm talking about, she was so slapped, it was ridiculous. So when she come pick me up, she drunk, like, man, we're going over to the crib, we're gonna go play some cards. You hanging? So I'm like, yeah, I'm rocking with y'all. So this was some years ago. Over damn near probably like 15, 20 years or something like that. I mean, it was back in the early 2000s. So don't try to think of who this person is. It wasn't today. But meanwhile, so we get over to her crib, they drinking, and back during this time I was drinking a little bit too. But have you ever seen somebody that be so drunk? Like sometimes when a woman get like too drunk, it's just like it ain't even classy, it ain't even like sexy. Like you all over the place, you falling and your words slurring and you dig what I'm saying? Like you ain't even got it together. But man, I don't know what happened, man. I guess she was trying to be freaky or something, grab my hand and try to put my hands between her legs, man. But I gotta tell you, man, Shorty smelled like murder or like death. Like what the hell? Like what what is good? Man, I was so mad. And then she was trying to be like sexy and throw her legs on me. Man, I got so mad I elbowed her like in her damn ribs. I tried to elbow her ribs out. Like, don't you put your damn leg on me, sit up here stinking, smelling like death. You dig what I'm saying? Like somebody's supposed to get sexy with you. Like, man, be mindful, ladies, because that's nasty. You don't want to roll up on nobody and you smelling like rot, you dig? Because you ain't taking care of yourself. You got, all kind of stuff going on in your life. You dig what I'm saying? I wish I could have knocked her out and woke her up with a shower or something. Like wake up, like what happened? Nothing. You fell and bumped your head. You in the shower. Don't go ahead and lay down. Get you some rest. Get yourself together. Sitting up here stinking. But listen. Let's go to hepatitis. Hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. Here is something that y'all probably don't understand, and this is about nasty people. So while we're in the midst of talking about like nasty people, hepatitis A, you spread that like when people don't wash their hands, and it really comes through feces. So it's really like, you know what I mean? It's passed through like poop. You know what I mean? Like straight up poop. So that means that somebody going to the bathroom, they wiping their butt, and they ain't washing their hands. You know what I mean? And then they coming out and then they cooking food. That's the reason why you can't eat at everybody's house, man. You dig what I'm saying? It's only like a few people I mess with on the food tip. I ain't gonna even front. You dig what I'm saying? I love black people and I love them cooking, but I usually know who on the meals. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's when it's a gathering, a family gathering, our people get down. You dig what I'm saying? But it's just true. Hepatitis A can be passed on from like fecal matter. You know what I mean? Like if somebody using the bathroom and they ain't washing their hands. And then all of a sudden, you sitting up here, people that had these symptoms like fever and fatigue, you tired, and you know what I mean, you got a headache or you got a fever and stuff like that. What you say? I might throw up during this podcast. No, you ain't gonna throw up. I ain't gonna get too graphic. Shorty that was stinking, man. That was just like a turn off. You know what I mean? Like I ain't never like really witnessed nothing like that in my life. And she trying to be cool, so she gonna grab my hand and put it between her legs. And for some odd reason, I smelled it, and it was just like, what in the world is that? I try to be cool, like, let me put it back in your face. Like, why don't you smell that? Don't you see what you smell like? Like, you smell like this. Like, is this real? Like, this can't be real. You dig what I'm saying? Like death. And that's what happened when you have like hepatitis A. People not washing their hands and they cooking food and stuff like that. And you get a fever, you get fatigue, jaundice, like yellow eyes, the yellow no skin, and abdominal pain, like your stomach start hurting. Somebody talking about I'm feeling sick. And she like, I can't. But it's real. Don't make it seem like, man, everybody wash their hands when they cooking, because you just don't know. Man, peep out people nails and peep out the way that they carry themselves. That's the reason why I got a motto: look good, feel good, do good. You dig what I'm saying? You know when people is clean and when they, you know what I mean, because they clean. You know what I mean? Look at they kitchen. They kitchen like, man, I ain't eating at your crib. You dig what I'm saying? Your kitchen ain't never clean. Ain't nobody coming over there to eat. Yeah, but let's switch gears so we ain't got to keep talking about that so that nobody gets sick. For real though, Neff, it's really like that, man. Look around, be cautious of your surroundings, man. I'm just giving it to you real. It's Listen and Learn Monday. It ain't like it ain't nothing that you ain't probably been around. You dig? You done been around somebody with a STD, you dig? And somebody done probably caught one. I know I got burnt up at 13. I was not cool. I got burnt. How you get burnt in the how you get burnt in, in junior high? Like, man, that was crazy. Straight up. She said, "This is the bare truth." And there it is. We got to post that. This is the bare truth. Hepatitis B. You could catch this one through blood, through semen, vaginal fluid. A woman can give it to her child during pregnancy, and it comes through sex. And most of the times, it got to do with people who, you know, shoot up drugs and stuff like that, bad contaminated needles. You might catch this with like heroin users or people that shoot up meth and stuff like that. A lot of times, a lot of meth user, needle users, those are the ones who really get into the hepatitis B and C. And what can happen, like if you don't mess with this, like if you are a needle user, only thing I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not taking a shot at you. Go get you some help first of all. You dig what I'm saying? Turn yourself in and get you some help because that ain't no future in that. But if you are using needles and you're around getting high with people, you know how people smoke blunts, you somewhere and they beaming up Scotty and you sitting over there using a needle, go get yourself tested like every 6 months. Because what you don't want to do with hepatitis B, you don't want to let that go on inside your blood and then it turn into chronic, hepatitis B. Now it's gonna start messing with your liver. Because HEPA is the liver and titus is an infection. So what it's basically doing is destroying your liver. And then sometimes it can cause type 2 diabetes and stuff like that. And so a lot of times you going through something because you've been sitting on hepatitis. Again, mainly our people not going to the doctor, ain't going to get checked out. Get with that Obama medical insurance if you have to, man. You dig what I'm saying? Do it because hepatitis C is the same thing. Injection from drugs can cause type 2 diabetes, can turn chronic. Um, it was happening like blood transfusions and stuff like right back before 1992. Now stuff is so clean and everything is so up to beat. Science is something else. You dig what I'm saying? And so now they got kind of like a hold of it, and it's like they doing better. But if you out here and you doing drugs with like needles, and you need to go on ahead and cut that out. Bring your own needle to the party. You dig what I'm saying? If you're gonna be doing it, you might just want to show up with your own needle. Have your own equipment or tools and stuff because you don't want to be walking around and then later on in life, next thing you know, you got something that's messing up your liver. And a lot of times people ain't really checking on themselves. They do a bunch of drinking and doing a bunch of drugs that it just don't, and never, you never see nothing. But remember what I was talking about with the syphilis? Um, that's another one. That's the one that it was. It was the syphilis at that house in Rock Island where them girls was over there, and I don't know who it was and who house it was, but they was over there in Rock Island, and the public safety department had to get over there to the house and make these people go down to the clinic and get tested because they said at least 3, 4 guys had got tested and they had sex with somebody in that house and they had syphilis. He says, "Thank you. Okay." Oh yeah, you right on, cuz. Don't worry about it. Fresh haircut. I thought you was talking about the thing. But yeah. But yeah. So listen to this. A lot of times people ain't even hip to this. They ain't even checking for that. That's another reason why you need to go get checked out. Because all right, like say for instance, it's first asymptomatic, 2 to 6 months where it's not really noticeable. But if you let syphilis go on, man, I'm talking about it can start eating up and it get in your bloodstream, it can kill you. It can also cause you to go blind. Next thing you know, you'll start getting this stuff where it start getting these peels and stuff on your skin, these sores and stuff like that. Next thing you know, you have rashes in your mouth and stuff like that. Listen to me, syphilis is not no joke. And you don't want to be involved with that, especially it's transmitted through sexually transmitted disease. But just think if somebody ain't really doing their physicals or getting checked up on their body and it's not noticeable, next thing you know, man, this stuff can start getting worse and getting worse. Let me see. There was something else that it was doing. It can cause heart problems, cardiovascular heart problems. Stop the irregular heartbeats and start messing up the way your blood flow. You know what I'm saying? It's already enough going on in the world. You think you need some mess like this? If it get into the bloodstream, it can kill you. So if it get into your veins, it can kill you. But remember what I said. It was some people over in Rock Island that had it and was just infecting people. And just think, even if they did come and get these people tested, let's just say that was only 3 to 4 guys that stepped up and got tested. Who's to say that they didn't sleep with somebody else before they even went to the doctor? Or what happened to make them go to the doctor to get tested? And how long was it before they got tested? And who else did they sleep with? See, when people ain't up on top of that going to the doctor, man, that shit is flowing around the whole Quad Cities. It's flowing from Rock Island to Davenport, Davenport to Rock Island, East Mole, Moline, Bettendorf. Hey, y'all out in Silvers, you ain't safe nowhere. Wherever you at, you in Milan, you ain't safe, man. Stop playing all the time, man. Y'all young people, man, got to start going to the doctor. I'll save the HIV for last. There was another. Oh yeah, well, we already talked about gonorrhea and chlamydia. Okay, so we had 46. So listen, HIV, human immune deficiency virus. I was trying to give y'all a little bit of this the other day when I was talking about, the T cell counts and stuff like that, and having HIV. Like now, you don't have to be scared about shaking somebody's hand. You dig what I'm saying? Remember how it used to be? Like when you hear about somebody got HIV, it was damn near like, man, like hold on, bro, you need to be, you a castaway. Like nobody, like we ain't shaking his hand, we ain't giving him no hug. Like man, they got that package. You dig it? And so you didn't really come around them. But here's the thing. I don't care if it's anything like syphilis, if it's hepatitis C and stuff like that, and mainly HIV. If you got that, it's a law that you got to tell people that you got it. Because if you got hepatitis or you got herpes, and herpes, you gotta let somebody know because herpes, they saying that it's a virus that they can give you a pill that can stop the outbreak, but you can't get rid of it. So when you got a sexually transmitted disease that's like a virus that you know what I mean, something that they saying can stay in your body for a long time, you have to tell people that you got this because if they catch it and they said that you didn't do it, they can press charges against you, especially with HIV. I had like a couple of guys that was in a joint that I used to do laps with, cooler than a fan, but they was locked up for giving a person HIV and not telling them. You know what I mean? And so just imagine they got caught because they didn't tell somebody. It's a lot of people that's getting caught up that ain't telling nobody. I mean, that ain't going to jail. They ain't going to prison because they ain't telling nobody. And you don't even know how you got it. And I know right now it's not really like a big deal because they got so many pills that I don't even think people are scared of it no more. I think that's what be happening. COVID came through and just blew the socks off of everything. When COVID came in, everybody started like, man, listen, long as I ain't got COVID, I'm cool. You dig what I'm saying? I remember the first time I caught COVID, man. And at first I was just catching like the chills, and then I was going through like the little hot spells. Who you say butterbean? I don't know. Is that a person that had it, Con? I don't know. What up, contact? What's the word, big dog? Anybody want to get a tattoo, man? Holler at my man Aqueminon down over there on off of Locust, man. My man Contact over there killing the game on the tattoos, man. What's up, bro? Yeah. But listen, the first time I caught I caught COVID, and then I started going through them phases where every time I was talking, I was getting the shortness of breath. You know what I mean? Where I was talking and I started feeling the effects, like the symptoms of, man, it scared me so bad. I'm talking about, man, I hit my knees and I started praying. I was like, God, please don't let me die. I do not want to go out like this. And when we tested positive for COVID, man, I was so nervous, dog. And then it don't my symptoms only last for like 2 days. Next thing you know, I was back to normal. And so it was like cool. But the one day that it did hit me, man, it beat me up and it threw me down. But the moral of the story is this. Now that COVID came and wiped out like so many people, and I don't want to say it nonchalantly because people lost some loved ones, and I'm not saying it like that. It kind of made people forget about like HIV and you know what I mean, like little stuff that can kill you on the side just by, you know what I mean, being out here just doing what you do. And sometimes you could just be being cool. And listen, sometimes you can have condoms. You know, you can catch herpes even if you got a condom on. Say you having sex with a person and they got herpes and they body fluids get on your legs or between like your legs, fam, you can catch herpes like that. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't want to see this one because a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. This is the truth right here, fam. You know what I mean? You go down there and you kissing on somebody, you put your mouth on that person that got herpes, you can get that right there in your mouth. Now, damn, it's crazy. Boy, you better know who you with. You better figure it out. You better make sure you know. But back to the HIV. it ain't really, you know what I mean, so prevalent like it used to be. Cause now they got pills that people can live with. I was talking about Magic Johnson, how Magic Johnson was just like, God was telling him that maybe he should be the face of it. But here's the thing, you know, HIV is still real, and it's out here. So here's the thing. If, like a lot of now, like right now, if people got HIV, they got some pills that can keep your immune system so high that it's undetectable in your body. And they say that when it's undetectable, that you can have sex and not pass it to a person. So here's how it go for people that don't know. If you don't know what it is, your immune system consists of the B cells and the T cells, right? And so the B cell is floating around through your blood, and it's got like these sensors that's on it. So if it sees anything that comes to the immune system and it's an infection, I don't care if it's a cold, if it's the flu, anything that it is, what it does is it goes and it duplicates that and it takes it back to the T cell. Now the T cell goes and makes an antibody to duplicate whatever that infection is to fight that infection off. The problem with HIV is that HIV was attacking your immune system. So what it was doing, it was attaching itself onto the B cells. And what it was doing, it would blow the B cell up with so many HIV viruses that they would explode and they would keep going and getting a hold to your other blood cells, your good blood cells, and multiplying, cloning each other and blowing themselves up. And so what they doing is depleting your immune system to where your T cell count dropped below like 250. Now you got AIDS. And so now AIDS is just an acquired immunodeficiency virus, basically saying your body you don't have an immune system no more, so anything can kill you. A sore throat can kill you. A fungus in your nail can kill you. Anything that comes against your body will literally kill you because you don't have an immune system to fight it off no more. Don't take this lightly, fam. The small town. Everybody got to get somewhere and try to sit it down. We just got done talking about love and being married. If you don't want to be married, you want to be a player out here in these streets, guarantee you, fam, you taking a chance at running up on somebody and catching something. And you talking about, man, I got condoms and I got this and that. You can still catch something with condoms, fam. It ain't safe out here. And y'all that's young, stop looking at that because a lot of y'all ain't going to the hospital or going to the doctors because they so, especially the dudes, man, they so scared. Like when we used to be in prison, listen to this. I used to teach the class. So these cats used to come outside. It'd be like 13, 15, sometimes 18. Usually the class is always bigger than like 6 people. So they be like, man, I already been here before, man. I don't want to hear this. So when they come out, they all going to sleep and stuff like that. Don't nobody want to hear it. But as soon as you start talking about prayer, like man, if anybody got a family, because that's how I used to add into my little spiel. I get to tell them about HIV and stuff like that. And then I'd be like, so if anybody got any family members out there, you got a wife out there, you got kids out there, you still fighting your case, write your prayer down on this kite and put it in that box. We got an intercessory group that's praying for you. Oh, people start lifting up their heads. Damn, like, man, where you say that box is at? Because they want to hear anything that's inspiring. But when it comes to like real news or like real live information, don't nobody want to hear it. Guess what they want to do? Everybody's scared. They just praying and hoping that it ain't me. Uh, I hope she don't look like she had it. Oh, he don't look like he got it. Oh, they look healthy. Oh, she big boned it. Oh, she a big girl, so she ain't got no HIV. They thinking, okay, if she got HIV or got AIDS, she gonna be skinny or she gonna be sick. No. Now remember, it used to be a gay thing. Oh, I ain't gay, so I ain't got HIV. Nope, because it's everywhere now. Everybody is. It could be in anybody. You dig what I'm saying? And ain't no telling what you doing when you land up with somebody and fam pull that condom off on you. So you better try to get it together before he give you something that you ain't. You know what I mean? You don't deserve that. You dig what I'm saying? For one. Number two, what if it could be long term and it can hurt you? You mess around and you get pregnant and you getting ready to have a kid. Now you got gonorrhea that you ain't even know nothing about, and this baby come up blind. Come on, man, that's stupid. I'm telling you, there's a scripture that's in the Bible, man, and it's so true. It says, "My people perish for the lack of knowledge." And I'm telling you, that's the reason why a lot of people out here dying, because they don't want to get the knowledge. Don't nobody want to go to the doctor. Don't nobody want to study up on nothing. You ain't even checking out your surroundings. At least get on Google and check out what's happening in Scott County, what's happening in Rock Island County. You dig what I'm saying? See what the statistics is and see what's happening out there. Be mindful when you at the strip club. Y'all all in the strip club. By the time y'all get there, after we done left all the little clubs and everybody going to the strip club, next thing you know, you done went off in there to like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and now you're in there just letting people bounce all on your hands and on your face, and you know what I mean? Okay, you get that bum, that bum bump, walking around with the bum bump. You dig what I'm saying? And you don't know what it is. Talking about that's a cold sore, boy, that's herpes. Real talk. And I forgot to tell you about what was that one? Staph. You know what I mean? The staph infection, and that comes from like being dirty, because they say that everybody carries like a little bit of the staph infection on their hands. Like, say, if you touch anything, especially like, say, people that go to the Y and they play basketball, they shoot hoops, dribbling the basketball, everybody touching the basketball, everybody being sweaty, you guarding and stuff each other. They used to tell them this like in the gyms in the prison. Like, listen, everybody carry a little bit of a staphylococcus or whatever the name is. It's a big long dumb name, but it's the staph infection. They said they carry it on their fingers and up under their nails. So listen, all the staph infection is doing is waiting for you to do something to where there's a tear in the skin, and then a little bit of that infection gets into your system, and it'll start eat. It's called a flesh eating bacteria, and it'll start eating your flesh from the inside out. Now, it'll start off looking like a spider bump. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's how they used to test them in prison. They go put this black circle around it, and then if it grow outside of that circle, if it grow outside of that circle within, I think, like 72 hours or 48 hours, then all of a sudden it could be staffed. And that means they're gonna cut it open and they gotta see what that fluid is. You're gonna be quarantined. They about to put you in a cell by yourself. You dig what I'm saying? But here's the situation. You get the plan with that one right there. Number one, if staph infection get into your bloodstream, it can kill you. That's when it's bad. But listen, I was teaching a class one day, and I'm telling them about it, because I'm like, listen, man, y'all got to be mindful. Y'all all in here. It's like, okay, on each unit in Oakdale, it's definitely on reception. It could be anywhere from like 100, somewhere like 99 to 100 on each unit. You dig what I'm saying? And so you just think 100 people on the unit, so many different people running up touching the TV, so many different people touching the water faucet. So it's like y'all passing germs like all day. And so it's like, man, when I used to be in there and I'm in the prison, I used to when I'm on the toilet, I used to wrap so much toilet paper around around the toilet seat. It thing looked like it had a cast on it. But here's the thing. You might think it's like a spider bump. You don't go get it checked out. Say it's hurting for a little bit, but you don't pay it no attention. It's eating your flesh up from the inside. So I'm teaching this class, and this dude jump up, and he gonna be like, "Man, want me to show you what staff did?" And he pulled his pants down. I'm about to say, "Hey, fella, don't pull your pants down in the class." But when he pulled his pants down, staff had ate up like half of his leg. He said it started off as a golf ball. By the time he got it over to Iowa City, they took him to the hospital. It was a softball. By the time they got done cutting it out and thinking that they had it, it was still because they had spread it, and it ate like half of the dude leg up. And so I'm just trying to tell y'all, fam, listen and learn Mondays, man. Get somewhere and sit down. Keep yourself clean. You dig what I'm saying? When you, especially if you cooking for people, man, you owe them that right to be washing your hands. You dig what I'm saying? When you in that kitchen touching stuff and you go to the bathroom, man, you gotta wash your hands. You gotta do that. And if you out here and you having sex and you being promiscuous, you dig what I'm saying? And you know who you are, don't lie. If you got multiple sex partners, you out here and you got a couple of chicks that you sleeping with, double dirty dick, like nephew said, if you got the double dirty, you dig what I'm saying? Come on, fam. Don't have the double dirty. You're putting the double dirty on people. You dig what I'm saying? Go get checked out, man. CAC, man, will work with you. You can go down there, man, and get tested, and you can make payments on that little bitty funky thing to go get checked out. Go get you some antibiotics or go get that shot, man, so you ain't running around here infecting people, or take a chance at a lady getting pregnant, and next thing you know, that kid is blind or something like that. If you're grown enough to have sex, you should be grown enough to be responsible and be accountable for your actions. You owe it to that woman. And ladies, you owe it to that dude. Stop laying up stinking, smelling like death. You did, because you ain't taking care of yourself, smelling like rot. And man, grow up. Go somewhere and sit down, man. It's really real out here, man. It's 8 o'clock. That's all I got for y'all today, man. I'll be back tomorrow with the Bible study, man. I love y'all, man, and God bless y'all. Peace.